know everybody's tired right now, but it's time for a scream. It's time for everybody to be shaken up and to listen to us. I've been listening to every single one of the most interesting people talking and addressing all the strategic planning and the reshaping of our region. But there was one thing that was lacking, really. Everybody was talking about the youth, but there were no youth involved in the talkings. But yet our chairman was really foreseeing this, and she made that we had the chance to tell you what we think. I think, and I believe that a lot of people from the new business leaders that will be the future leaders of this Arab region believe the same. We need the current leaders to listen to us. Don't be scared of us. Just listen to us. We always have this mentality of being dominated and looking up to the other countries. They are getting jobs for their people to study us, to study our region, to know what to do with us. Really, we know what to do with us. We are living in this region, and we know what we want it to be for the next 10 years to come. So let's stop correcting the mistakes we're making for the past 10 years and start planning. I grew up in a country, I come from Lebanon, and I'm sorry, my name is Mirai Korab Abin Nasser, and I'm part of the advisory board of Beirut Institute. And I come from a business background. I work with FFA Private Bank in investments and real estate. So we have been spending our time in Lebanon hearing about a huge conspiracy theory, and someone is planning our future. Hell yeah, the others were planning, so let's shake up and start planning our future, because we need to plan our future. Nothing will happen if we don't plan, and nothing will happen if the leaders don't start by having this nucleus of cooperation between the current officials and the young, the future leaders, the business people that are really managing and communicating within their own environment. This is what we need. We've been contemplating a lot of policies, we've been contemplating a lot of strategies, but the strategy is from within. And let's start making jobs for the young, rather than making jobs for the youngs of other countries. So let us study us, and let us come up with the solutions, because we have it, but you just don't want to listen to us and consult with us. Thank you. And we deserve it. I believe we deserve it.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my utmost pleasure to represent the voices of young people in this beautiful summit. Young people matter. Believe me, they do matter. They are the leaders of today and tomorrow, and they need leaders who are truly act as role models. All stakeholders should begin to see the youth as a distinct group with specific skills, sets, and abilities. We take keen interest in helping young people in tackling youth issues. Everyone is responsible to tackle youth issues. All stakeholders should play their role in tackling youth issues and making young people involved in the decision-making. You should be included in all processes: decision-making, evaluation, monitoring, implementation of all policies that are meant for this region, because this world is for them today and tomorrow. And we believe in young people because youth do matter. I thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Andira Raslan, and I'm proud to say that I've worked with the Beirut Institute. So I've been involved recently with the current protests in Lebanon. And I think, whether you agree with it or not, I believe that the current political movement in my country has been pushing the boundaries for immediate and effective solutions. So coming from this background, I would like to highlight 4 main elements. One, I think that you've all talked about economy and economic development. And I think that this should be our priority, because I believe that this is the first element that can bring people together, and it's our common ground. 2, I think that we need to build trust again, trust between government and youth, trust between government and the people, because this trust has been lost over the years. We need you to give us the opportunity to be part of the decision-making. 3, I think that accountability should be installed, and accountability as a culture and not only as a mechanism. 4, and I think for me this is a very important issue, which is how we talk about religions, our perspective toward religions, and how religion has been influencing our behavior daily. So I think we need to open up for real discussions about that. And we can start in schools, at universities, and even open the platforms, public platforms for that. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jack Sayeli, and I'm a 23-year-old youth from Lebanon. All I can do really is speak from the heart, right? This region's youth are frustrated. We, this region's future, are angry. Throughout our lives and throughout our education, we've been taught all about these Arab issues, all the history. When we look outside, when we look at the reality, we realize this history is actually not history. It's the present day situation. Nothing changes, nothing evolves, nothing improves. Whether it be the Palestinian-Israeli situation or the Lebanese conflicts, no progress is made. It seems like instead of going into the light, we're falling deeper into the abyss. The transitions presently going on in the region are a symptom of this frustration. We are starting to place our hopes and faith in ourselves. That's the beauty of what's going on right now. That we can be the change that we have sought for, that we have longed for. As a consequence, when we see it all over, we're actually starting to go to the streets. We're actually starting to believe in ourselves. So all I can ask from you is for you to help us, to give us a voice, to get rid of all this corruption, to get to a path where we can finally respect our region. And I'd like to echo what the previous speaker said. Accountability is crucial. Thank you very much.
We have one of the richest cultures of storytelling in the world. Yet today we find the Arab story in turmoil. There is a movement, though, of creators who are trying to challenge that story and create a new narrative. And there is a hungry pan-Arab audience that is one of the largest consumers of content in the world. But it is the content creators who need to be supported, as they are the key to inspiring other young thinkers. I think, as I said, of my innovative friends who have launched the new Iftah Hasimsim from Abu Dhabi. I think of Bassem Youssef's incredibly successful satire show across the region. I think of Naif al-Mutawa from Kuwait, who created the beautiful cartoon, The 99s, about the 99 words for Allah. These creators must be celebrated and supported, whether or not we agree with them. Because it is this content that pushes boundaries. It is supporting our own content creators that will ensure that we tell our own stories. And it is this content which will inspire the next generation to be innovative, to be creative contributors to our region, and to dream of and reimagine a new and rich Arab story.
Hi, my name is Karim Aymer, and I'm a filmmaker from Egypt. I want to thank you all for giving us this opportunity to speak, and I just want to say that for me, I think it's important to remember the word legacy. I think that we come from a region that takes the word pride very seriously. We have a lot of pride in our national identity, we have a lot of pride in our heritage. And I think we have to take pride in the legacy we will leave behind. I think that as a young generation that has risen up in the last couple of years, as we've seen protest movements that shook up the entire region, people dared to dream, and they dared to come down and become authors of their own future. People came down in the streets of the Middle East and said, we believe we have the right to write our own destiny. We believe we have the right to be the authors of our future, to own our future. And I think that any government that fails to recognize this undesirable, this basic human need of young people to feel that they own their future will face major uncertainty and instability. Instead of seeing the 300 million Arab speakers as a liability, we should see them as an opportunity. We should see, instead of seeing their frustrations as annoyances, we should see them as opportunities for these people to be writing their own futures and paving the way forward, to feel a sense of ownership of their destiny. I worry that our inability to reconcile the needs of young people throughout the Middle East will lead us in a very desperate situation, one which our legacy, with a legacy that will be compromised. I worry by seeing that we are failing to create the space for dreams of young people to be manifested. And we're failing behind to the messaging of people like ISIS and Daesh and others. And I hope that we can come together and learn from the failures of the past to create a way for young people who dare to dream to continue to feel that they are the masters of their own future.